Hey Anna, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription transition lenses for your Polo 1067 color 9038 in the 52 eye size. So let's take a look at everything. Take it out of his Ralph Lauren box that it comes to me in. Of course, you got the Ralph Lauren cleaning cloth, little string mount, which we won't need hopefully, because I'm not going to be so rough as to break the string that's holding your lenses in your frame. And of course, this is the Polo frame in the black. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing, I should say, while it is being shipped. Of course, I'm going to include the same things on there for you when I ship to you. But I'm going to take this off. This is a great frame, great spring hinges on here, classic matte black frame. And of course, it's got the classic platinum Polo rider on the side. But the first thing I need to do for any semi-rimless frame is, normally you see me trace the complete frame. Well, the lens comes out, so I'm going to put 2 dots on each lens to give me a 180 meridian. Alright, that is good. Let me put if you missed anything, let me recap. Oh, I know that was bad. That was bad, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm going to take your lens out. And see, I can't trace because we got the flimsy string here, which is good. Should you be rough? If people are rough on their glasses, I actually recommend a string mount frame, because when all this is a 20-pound fishing string, and when this breaks, your frame goes limp and then almost like a breakaway goal. That's a 2-minute repair that most optical shops will do for free. I certainly do. But I'm going to take this pattern, I'm going to put it onto the lens, and just for fun, I'm going to try something new here. I'm going to barcode your frame. You're going to be number 1126. So in the future, if you ever need lenses for this frame, I can send them right to your home. Number 1126. So I am going to scan this code. I'm going to now trace the right lens. Let's see, the bridge size is 17. I'm going to enter that. And the little stylus is going to come up, and it's going to go and it's going to trace the circumference of your right lens. That's how it's going to know what shape lens to cut. It's going to go all the way around. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Ralph Lauren Polo frame, and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will be reimbursed from this purchase, even if it's not prescription. So that is telling me that I need to use the smaller blocks because the eye size. So I'm going to get the edger ready. I'm going to take these blocks off, put on the smaller chucks, and let's get this thing ready. Let's see, your pupillary distance is 61, which is 30.5 in each eye, so I'm going to get that ready there. And now I'm going to go down and let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Put my pen back in my pocket. But your right eye reads -150, -1/4 at 007. Spin the axis wheel to 7. Let me make sure it's zeroed out. Yep, I'm going to put it on -150. Take your right lens out of the protective sleeve. Open it up. There we go. Come on out. Now I'm going to put your lens in. I'm going to rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. The third one's hard to see, so I'm going to darken that. And this is your right lens. I'm going to do the same thing now for the left. -1 1/4, -1/4 at 173. Let's go ahead and take this out. Spin the axis wheel to 173. Put your lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes out clearly. Make sure it's on 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Hang on, at 173. 173. There we go. -1 1/4. -1/4. Double check everything. Put the 3 dots on there. Darken that one, and this one is the left lens. So let's go on back down here. Let's scoop everything up. And now we can begin to put the blocks onto your lens. So the reason why I put those dots in there, your lens has to be oriented just a certain way or you're just not going to see as well. So let's see here. This is, oops, this is a block, or as I like to call it, a Jenny from the block. This is what's going to be attached to your lens while it is cutting inside the machine. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, which I've already put on a couple of these. The green side is the sticky side. I'm going to pull the paper away. Now the back surface has a little silver button. That is a magnet. That's what's going to hold everything in place while it is cutting. So I'm going to get your lens oriented and just perfectly. This blue cross is the geometric center of the lens. If you measure vertically and horizontally, wait, that's horizontally, that's vertically. That blue cross would be the center of your lens. Your eye is just inset from there. So I'm going to put that center dot just right there in the center. That is your optical center. And those two dots on the outside gives me a 180 meridian to know it's centered in there perfectly. I'm going to hit that button and the arm is going to drop down and place the block onto your lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens. Get this one ready, pull the paper away. Put that in there. We're going to get everything centered just right. The optical center is going where it's supposed to. And then those two outside dots are lined up perfectly. And we're going to hit the button and place the block onto that lens. Now somewhere around here is my flashlight. There it is. This is the edger. This costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one. Then you can put it on your kitchen counter and you can cut lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. Underneath this arm there's a little blade. That's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens. It's going to cut a slice out of the lens so it stays inside that frame. So I'm going to take your right lens and place it into the chuck, or as you see me in other videos, call it the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to wake it up. That is the shape of your lens. These are polycarbonate lenses. I do not want to polish. I'm going to put a light bevel on the front surface and a heavier bevel on the back surface. And hit start. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by two white calipers. It's measuring the lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. And it's also measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel so the lens fits best inside the frame. And hit the button again for start. In just a moment your lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. Now if you notice that glimmer in the back, that is water. It's only there to collect sawdust, if you will. Polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. So that is your lens beginning to cut. But your lenses are, where's my stylus? Where'd it go? Your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. By the way, these are Essilor brand lenses, and of course you will be receiving these original packets to prove that it's Essilor Transitions. Airwear is their brand for it. TR stands for Transitions. That's the Roman numeral for 7, Transition 7. GY is gray. Now the other thing you will notice, AS stands for aspheric. Aspheric simply means not round. A spherical lens is round in every direction like a basketball and gives you that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when people look at you. Aspheric is simply a flatter lens. Now, your polycarbonate material is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes that will never need to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays when you go to the beach and things like that. So you're getting the thinner, lighter weight lenses, So that's a good point. When you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for prescription lenses. Not a good idea in my opinion. And then if you want the thinner and lighter weight unbreakable polycarb, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then if you want the aspheric, the flatter surface lenses that fits in today's flatter formed lenses, frames I should say, they charge you a third upgrade fee for that. So that is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free simply by buying the frame from me. Now you did pay the $50 upgrade to get the transition lenses. Everyone else would have gotten clear lenses, but that's all you're paying for your lenses is $50. So right now it's putting a very flat surface on the edge of your lens before a blade is going to come out and cut the groove into your lens. So this frame sells for $220. This Polo 1067 in the color 9038 sells for $220. Your lenses were free, hence the term freeprescriptionlenses.com. You paid the $50 to upgrade to transition, so your only fee is $270. Now a little arm is moved forward with a blade, a spinning blade. That is what's going to slice the edge of your lens to cut the bevel, so it will be kept in place by this string. Slice, slice, slice goes the blade. As you will notice, your lens has been cutting dry up until this point. In just a moment, water will kick in and begin to wash away any optical debris, optical sawdust if you will. The technical term for that is schwarf. Actually, it's going to go back down on the roughing wheel one more time just to partially remove that before the water comes down and starts to wash the majority of that away. This whole process will take about 20 minutes. I do thank you for your patience. The semi-rimless take a little bit longer for cutting. Here we go. When the water kicks in, that tells me we're on the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical debris. And actually, one more step does have to come into play. The arm is going to move back into place, and now the safety bevel is going to be applied to the convex front surface of your lens. It's acting as a little sanding pad to take away any sharp edges on the front of the lens before doing the same thing on the concave rear surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. So in just a moment your lens will be done. Let's grab a paper towel. We're going to take it out and dry off your lens so it's not slippery. Now that it's dried off, I'm going to use my thumbnail just to go around, remove any optical debris that may still be in there that the water did not remove. I am a perfectionist when it comes to cutting every lens that gets shipped worldwide out of this lab. You want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses for you. Alright, so everyone wants to know, how do you mount the lenses in these frames? Well, you got to have the right tool for the job. That tool, a little piece of ribbing for wrapping presents. This is my MacGyver moment. So you take the lens, and of course if you ever need to order lenses from me in the future, this is what you're going to do. You're going to tuck them in at the outside corner first. There's a little groove at the very top that's going to hold the lens in there. Of course, let me start from here because I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And let's go ahead and get the left lens started. I'm going to put that in there where the magnet holds it in place. Hit the L button and then start. And just like before, the door is going to close, that clamp is going to shut. And then it's going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame to make sure the lens is large enough as it goes around. And of course, measuring the thickness at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so your lens best fits inside the frame. And as soon as the left lens drops down onto the cutting wheel, I will keep working on the right lens. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get your right lens mounted. Again, there's a little inside liner here in the top of the frame that's going to go into this groove here where my thumbnail is. Just getting everything tucked in properly. Hang on now, hang on. There we go. Then you take the piece of ribbon, which is folded in half so you can grip it from both sides. You grab it like that. Now I start at the outside corner and move it towards the nose, and when you hear the snap, it is in there. Place my finger on there to hold it in place, pull that out, and now everything is mounted in there securely. So let's go ahead and inspect your right lens. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 007. Put the lens in. The optical center has been washed away, so I'm going to redot that. Check the power. And I'm getting -150, which is exactly halfway between 1 and 2. Check your astigmatism correction, which you have 1 step, and we're at -175, 1 tick mark away from 2. How that works is the unit of measurement we use in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we call plano, and goes up in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, 150, and so on. So you actually need 6 steps of correction for your far-sightedness. You are nearsighted. With your glasses off, you can see wonderful from whatever you can reach on inward, but whatever you cannot grasp starts to get blurry. So you need 6 steps of minification. Without your glasses on, everything is much larger in life than it really appears. So you need 6 steps to minify down to the correct size. Now you only need 1 step of astigmatism correction. That's what your cylinder is. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. It fluctuates, it comes and goes, it is no big deal. So this first number makes everything the correct size. This second number takes away fuzzy edges. That's what astigmatism does. It causes 6s and 8s to look alike, or the letters P and F. That's why you squint when you have astigmatism. Astigmatism, essentially, to correct for that, we're going to use something essentially referred to as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that knob to 7. A straight line is 0 to 180. With 90 being in the center. So we're going to turn that knob just to 7, not very far, to clear everything up. But you remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together, those 2 minuses? Of course nobody does. I'm not going to put you on the spot. But using today's terms, if someone had borrowed $1.50 and then they borrowed another 25 cents from you, they would owe you $1.75. That's why we're at 175 here. Now, for your left eye, it's going to be, you only need 5 steps of correction, but again, only 1 step of astigmatism correction, but we're going to turn that 1 step to 173. So even that first one was at 7, we're going to turn this one past 90 all the way almost to the 180 line, and we're going to stop at 173. Now these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180 and is no big deal. Now you think those numbers are very far apart. They're not. They're very close. They're actually only 14 degrees apart. Remember, 0 and 180 is the same number. It is a flat line. So you were 7 degrees above the line on this side. You were 7 degrees above the line on this side. So your numbers are actually very close, even though they look like they're very far apart. But for the combined value for your left lens, we're going to end up with a minus 150. We're going to add that quarter there. So you can still have a total of 6 steps of correction. We're just going to get there differently. 5 steps of minification, 1 step with clarity. Where are we here? Alright, so it's already cut the groove into the lens. It's just going to go back down onto the bevel wheel just to remove some of that optical debris and smooth out any rough edges that might be left over from the blade cycle. And when the water kicks in, that tells me we're 20 seconds away from being done. There we go, it's turned into a car wash. Of course, that arm moves into place with that spinning wheel, and it's going to put the safety bevel onto the front surface, the convex surface of your lens, before smoothing out the concave rear surface of the lens. You didn't know you were going to be tested on this, did you? Alright, so it's done with the front surface. Now let's do the rear surface. I'm going to put a slightly thicker bevel on the rear surface, just in case it comes in contact with your cheeks when laughing and smiling. Oh, just got a text. I bet he's checking on he's checking to see if his temples were here. And you know what? Here's a special treat for you. He had to get replacement temples for his 5184, and here they are. I'll be getting these in the mail to you tonight. This guy's gotten several pair of glasses from me, and now he's just getting a pair of replacement temples. For frames he didn't even buy for me. That's nice of me, isn't it? That's very sweet of me, at least I think so. Okay, so let me pull this off. Run my finger around the lens. Clean all the optical debris out. Now where's your frame? Where is it? It's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out, and this is what you're going to do. Just use your thumb. You can use your hand to pull the frame this way and push downward with your thumb, and out comes that lens. Let's go ahead and get the left lens mounted. Get everything lined up there perfectly. Grab the string and of course fold it in half. I start at the outside corner first, move my way towards the nose, and when you hear the snap, you're in there. I put my finger on the string to hold it in place, pull the strap out, and now, of course, I did not put the pupillary distance back on there. Let's do that there. Now I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 173, which is the fine-tune knob there. Check the power. We're ending up with -1 1/4. Check your astigmatism correction, and we're at -150 after the 1 step of correction there. Put the dots on there. Now your pupillary distance is 61. I'm going to turn the card over, and with my thumb I'm going to place it on your right lens, and then when I hold it up to your left lens, we're getting 61 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and clean the dots off your lenses. Now this is the point in every video that I say that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, but there's a small chance that this frame could either fit too small or too large. However, there's an 80% chance that it's going to sit high on one side or the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. And of course, I'm part of that 80%. I have one side that's higher than the other too, and I'll show you in just a moment. By the way, all ladies, not only will you get your Polo, Ralph Lauren Polo leather case and cleaning cloth, and of course Polo gives you one of the largest cleaning cloths of any of the designer companies, but I include one of my own, and the ladies always get the pink ones. The fellas, you get a non-pink cloth. How's that? I'm not going to tell you until you buy from me. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I have one ear that's higher than the other, so mine wobble on the counter when you do that. Put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Alright, flip these over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly and they're not askew in any way. Same amount of tension on each spring hinge, and there is. So, Anna, this is what your lenses look like while they are clear. You got the transition lenses, so I'm going to go ahead and activate them for the first time. I'm going to put them in my little strong transitions box, which just has a very strong UV light in there. And as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, Anna, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1, as you are about to see. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every sunny day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield in a traditional car. The windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. That's why your dashboard does not crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why your transition lenses don't get dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken, or in exposure to the sun. They don't turn dark indoors or in a car. So that is that. That's the first time they've been darkened, and again, they're going to continue to darken. Oops, let me move my camera. Come on, Anna, we talked about this, don't you remember? So that's that. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Anna, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses for your Polo 1067 color 9038 in the 52 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.